When you're born a princess, it's fairly safe to assume you have a comfortable life ahead of you. Though she's far back in the line of succession, Princess Eugenie has certainly put her royal resources to work. While we see much of the royals' public-facing lives, it's rare we get a peek into how they live behind closed doors. While Buckingham Palace is the official residence of King Charles III and is certainly big enough to house many others, the majority of royals, including Eugenie, live at Kensington Palace. Previously, Eugenie lived in Frogmore Cottage, the home that used to be afforded to Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. However, in 2022, it was time for a change, and Eugenie, her husband, Jack Brooksbank, and their son, August, moved into Nottingham Cottage on the estate. Unlike some other grand royal homes, Nottingham Cottage is a small two-bedroom abode, but that doesn't mean it isn't gorgeous. Royal fans got a look inside when Prince Harry and Meghan Markle discussed it in their Netflix documentary, with Harry calling his first home a bachelor pad.
As far as people were concerned, we were living at a palace, and we were in a cottage on palace grounds.
It's unknown how Eugenie put her own stamp on the place, but something tells us that it's not a dive by any standards. Royal weddings are generally expensive affairs, and the public loves to watch the pomp and circumstance that surrounds them. In Eugenie's case, Express reports her 2018 wedding to Brooksbank cost an estimated £2.7 million. Additionally, Brooksbank is estimated to have dropped between £100,000 and £120,000 on her engagement ring alone. Eugenie's dress, designed by Peter Pilato and Christopher DeVos, cost £260,000. Then factor in catering costs, which came in at over £150, and a hefty flower bill of £100,000, it's not hard to see how the tab quickly added up. Eugenie did look stunning and ethereal on the day, so it was money well spent. And when you compare it to the roughly £30 million William and Kate's wedding cost, it really doesn't seem all that high. Princess Eugenie is classed as a working royal, but she isn't a senior royal like her cousin William. While she attends plenty of royal events, Eugenie has also been known to hold down a regular day job. She opted to get involved in the art scene and previously worked in the very competitive sector as the director of Hauser & Wirth, a swanky art gallery in London's elite Mayfair. Given the upscale area, one can only imagine the standard of clientele that walks through the door. Of course, Eugenie is now a mother, and there's a chance that her career has taken a back seat as she raises her two young children. Even so, Eugenie could surely step right back into working at some of the most prestigious galleries in the world if she wished to. Not only does her experience make her worthy, but her royal title doesn't exactly hurt either. Having a princess on staff isn't a bad look for any upmarket establishment, art or otherwise. First cars tend to be second-hand beaters that don't cost much, but when you're a royal, it's a different story. By the age of 21, Eugenie bought a luxury Range Rover. In fact, Eugenie and her sister, Princess Beatrice, both bought new cars at the same time. As a source told the Sunday Express, the princesses have had the cars for a couple of months. They are all singing, all dancing models with all the mod cons. The siblings certainly follow royal tradition by opting for lavish cars, and it's a trend that Eugenie has stuck with throughout her life. When she married Brooksbank, she travelled to the ceremony in a vintage Rolls-Royce, previously used by her grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. On the same day, she and her new husband hopped into an Aston Martin, and they say money can't buy happiness. Though she's a prominent royal, Princess Eugenie has more freedom than some of those closer to the throne, so we get to see her social life play out in public a little more. She has been known to go on some very impressive trips with even more impressive pals in the past. For example, she took a jaunt to Abu Dhabi to watch the Grand Prix in 2023 with Ginger Spice herself, Geri Halliwell. The former Spice Girl posted a photo of herself on Instagram sitting alongside Eugenie, Naomi Campbell, and actor Orlando Bloom. While the trip is impressive by itself, Eugenie has been spotted out and about with supermodel Cara Delevingne and even counts Kate and Lila Moss as friends. The mother-daughter duo attended Eugenie's wedding alongside a host of other A-listers. If there's one thing we know about royal women, it's that they like to dress well. Princess Catherine frequently makes best dress lists, and even the late Queen Elizabeth II was well known for her distinctive style. For her part, Eugenie is much the same and seems to have a wardrobe packed full of designer gowns. In the past, she's been spotted wearing gorgeous gowns by Fendi and even wore a show-stopping blue Vivienne Westwood dress to Prince William's wedding in 2011. Eugenie seems to have a penchant for fashion that isn't going away anytime soon. In January 2024, the princess was even seated in the front row at the Dior Homme menswear show during Paris Fashion Week. Whether Eugenie is a style icon is up for debate, but either way, she has the bank balance to invest in some wonderful pieces. It might go without saying, but the royal property portfolio is rather large.
As the new monarch, Charles assumes ownership of institutions that manage an estimated $42 billion in assets.
The Crown Estate consists of multiple palaces, castles, and sprawling country estates. While most of them get used the way the monarch sees fit, it's likely Eugenie has access to the majority of her family's properties. Around Christmas time, all of the royals gather at Sandringham House, the family's Norfolk estate, where everyone stays for a few days around the holiday period. Eugenie's father, Prince Andrew, also famously lives in one of the most impressive and valuable homes owned by the Crown, Royal Lodge. With around 30 rooms, including 7 bedrooms, it proved to be a great place for Eugenie and her sister to grow up. Both of the princesses are most likely still free to stay at the $40 million property whenever they want, at least as long as Andrew remains the home's resident. And of course, if she ever gets tired of her options in the UK, she can always head to the sandy beaches of Portugal, where she, her husband, and their sons have a part-time home at the swanky Costa Terra Golf and Ocean Club. Like many female royals before her, Princess Eugenie has access to some of the most historical and expensive jewels in the world. The Windsor jewellery collection includes a vast array of tiaras, necklaces, and brooches, and when Queen Elizabeth II was alive, it wasn't uncommon for females in the line to borrow a piece or two for their wedding day. Eugenie was no different. At her wedding, Eugenie wore a beautiful diamond and emerald tiara that belonged to her grandmother, known as the Greville Emerald Kokoshnik Tiara. The eye-catching piece consists of rose-cut pave diamonds alongside 6 emeralds, all set onto a platinum band. The best part? It's worth a cool £10 million. In addition to that, she matched the tiara with a pair of earrings gifted to her by Brooksbank, which were worth another £7,000 themselves. However, Eugenie's foray into royal jewellery didn't end with her wedding. When King Charles III was crowned in 2023, the princess wore Albemarle high jewellery diamond earrings worth £26,000.